Hello everyone and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto YouTube Charts video. I am No FOMO Charts. Today is Sunday, April 19, 2026. It's about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at night in the USA. Welcome everybody. This is a swing trading and an investing YouTube Charts channel. Stock earnings season is underway and ongoing right now. This upcoming week, we have earnings releases coming out of 3M, United Health, United Airlines, AT&T, Boeing, Tesla, Lam Research, American Express, and Intel, just to name a few. There are many companies. Economic data for this upcoming week, we have retail sales, core retail sales. The next Fed chairman is supposed to testify. We also have other data, pending home sales, unemployment claims, manufacturing services PMI, consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations as well. Recent news, USA stock market earnings season is ongoing. Iran and USA temporarily negotiated a ceasefire last week, but the Strait of Hormuz military conflicts have reportedly resumed. So that's ongoing breaking news I have to watch out for essentially every day. USA SEC eliminated the pattern day trader rule for margin accounts here in the USA. Exchanges have up to 18 months to implement the change. That's for margin accounts. The CFTC officially categorized Bitcoin and Ethereum as digital commodities, which reduces SEC oversight. Other altcoin ETFs are under review, reportedly. The SEC exempts some crypto interfaces from broker-dealer registration requirements, given they adhere to the guidelines set. These two last pieces of news basically means that crypto regulatory for the cryptocurrency space is easing. It's not as strict as it was 5+ years ago. So that's good for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Although long term, it could be bad if there's too much oversight to the point where, if the trading or the investing gets out of hand or wallets are too scrutinized, then I think people would just get turned off by that in the future. But right now, I would say the infrastructure is getting set up to increase access. All right, let's move on to the charts. Last week, I had a request last week, so I will actually go over them at the end of this video. I had a request for UNH and BA stock. Thank you for subscribing and watching. If you have a chart request, just let me know in the comments and I'll try to get to it in the video, if not the next video. So let's start off with SPY Futures, ES1. It's incredible how the technical analysis works so perfectly that this neckline target measured move, we went exactly 2 times the target right to the X. And now that the military conflict has renewed, we just want to watch out for that. So that was a very successful 2 to 3 weeks. Now, what's happening right now is we went from a low linear regression price piercing up all the way to the top of the upper linear regression. So as a long bull swing trader, I do not want to buy up here because it's too high. Other supporting technical evidence, stochastic RSI is pinned to maximum. The RSI reached overbought conditions, 70. We went from 30 to 70. That's a trading strategy. We went from low Bollinger Band to high Bollinger Band, or low linear regression to upper linear regression. That's another trading strategy. So I'm expecting there to be some algorithmic sell-off. In the long term, however, we could still reach in the upper target, upper 7,300, 7,400 within 6 months to a year because we went from low stochastic. It hasn't quite hit high stochastic. Just in my experience, I'm expecting some kind of pullback, even if it's really small. It could just be 1% pullback or 2% pullback, and then the uptrend resumes. I'm on a 4-hour chart now. We had that golden up cross. high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. Where's the next higher high and higher low? Somebody's playing trend as hard as they can. The 1226 or 20 EMA, if you're an intraday trader, is our best friend. But for me, looking at this from a day chart perspective, it's a little too high for my taste. Or not my taste, according to my strategy. I have to be very disciplined to not enter in right now. That's just me. All right, let's go to NQ, Nasdaq futures. Again, the upside down head and shoulders was perfect. And we are in this upper linear regression area. Pull up pivots to see where we could pull back to. We could pull back all the way down to 26,342, and we're still okay here. It's very unlikely we're going to crash back down to the pivot point. So just the closest support, even 26,529 or 26,327 area right there. The super trend is green. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll point it out that everyone's algorithmic stop loss, not everyone, but the algorithm stop loss is right here at 25,662. So as long as we stay above that, we're in bullish territory. Again, we went from low RSI to high RSI. On a weekly chart, we're barely holding the weekly pivot, which is 26,517. So the news has to be extremely bad for us to actually reverse into a downtrend. From upside down head and shoulders into a golden cross uptrend. If I have to call a number that we need to hold above, we just need to hold above 25,000. That's the 4-hour 200 EMA, and then we should be fine. It's really strange that we have so much green. I'm interpreting this as short squeeze. Somebody tried to short here, but the algorithms and the traders, the bulls won. We almost had an evening star that got short squeezed out. So then it looks like hedge funds or institutions, somebody got short squeezed out, and then retail is just jumping on that green wave. Let's go to Dow Jones futures. YM1. Had that little gap down over the weekend. 1226 is still up crossed. I like what I'm seeing here. Super trend is green. Super trend is at 47,837. It's not over for the uptrend. Up, high, low, high, low, high, low. Or it could go a little bit lower and then try to reach one more higher high. So this is a very definition of downtrend into uptrend reversal. This is like textbook. And if I just very simply drew one trend line in this yellow or in the blue, then that pierce here, the back test on Monday, April 13, which was 1 week ago, that was the final. My strategy is more aggressive. It's entering down here in this zone and then take profit here and take profit here and just get out of there as a trader. But is that if somebody's investing, this is a decent spot to also buy at the bottom. But now that the squeeze is over, I don't want to buy up here. I need to wait for a pullback. We're into some kind of intraday pullback. It could be a 1 hour oversold. It could be a 15 oversold RSI. I just don't want to be buying tops. I do not want to buy tops because if somebody longed on Friday, which was the RSI was too high on Friday, dangerous. They would be down 1%, or if it's like options, they'd be down like 10 or 20% over the weekend, which is dangerous. So it's always good to just be buying dips, low dip, 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 or breakout for that last one. And then maybe this could be a buying spot, this dip in Sunday or Monday, or if it goes lower. Specifically, it would be interesting to see the spots I marked right now. Where is it low? Let's go to a 4-hour chart. Where is it low? It's low stochastic RSI. Or it's low regular RSI. Or it happens to be a 50 EMA bounce. I just call it line touch. Somebody's playing that very hard. On a 1-hour chart, it's RSI low. RSI stochastic combo low. RSI stochastic combo low. So if I really want to get into Dow Jones, I need to wait for the next RSI low if I'm algorithmic. All right, let's speed this up. Let's go to oil futures just because we need to take a look at that. Crude oil futures. All right, so we do have the golden cross, but we're in a downtrend right now. What it looks like, wow, is down negative 23%. Intraday, once we get that oversold, because it is death cross on an intraday, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, looks like possibly if that's the pattern, we could try to get one more higher high into a lower low because it's already downtrending. Only thing that will make oil go up is if the war just gets really bad, nonstop for 1 or 2 weeks. But the stochastic RSI is low, but it's not in an uptrending side. This is a good little segue here just for an analysis lesson, is that stochastic RSI does not always work. But when stochastic is low and you get a support level above a moving average, like in these two blue lines, then it works. It could work there with the news catalyst. So those 3 or 4 combo events. Once it's downtrending, though, the stochastic bounce will be very small, usually, or it stays pinned, so it doesn't work anymore. So I have to wait for RSI oversold on like a 4-hour or a 1 hour to try to catch that if somebody's bull, or you could just stay away. Do not always have to trade those ETFs when it's not hot anymore, or when the other things like AI stocks are going crazy in the market. Maybe it's better to day trade that or swing trade that rather than trying to play oil war news, because it's kind of old news now. That's why I just moved on from that weeks ago. Okay, gold futures. So gold is actually had a nice bounce on this weekly. Remember calling out that Morningstar reversal on the weekly 1 or 2 weeks ago? Worked out very nicely. Now we're approaching the pivot point. We need to hold above 47.18 support, or else this could be a weekly lower high, which we want to watch out for. It could also turn into a double bottom here, and that's okay too. Or it could just keep rallying up onward, which is totally fine as well. GC1 here, the stochastic RSI is high. So as a bull, it's not the best spot to enter in right now on a daily chart. I like it lower, like that, and then take half the profit now or something like that. So unless somebody's investing, it's a different mindset. But as a trader, I have to have discipline like that to not lose too much. So we're riding this trend line right at the support level. We're riding these 2 trend lines, tightening. So if we don't rally up into 4,900, I would say the next 1 or 2 weeks, then there could be a problem here on gold. All right, let's do 2 more. XOK and XLF just had magnificent gains. Magnificent 7 is incredible. But I do want to caution, just like XOK, just like Nasdaq QQQ, is that it's really high right now. So I do not want to buy that. It could keep going, but I'm actually, if I had to make a decision, am I going to long green or am I going to short red? Am I going to call option or put option? I would put option this a little bit. I would short it a little bit. I could do inverse ETF 1-to-1. If I want to put option, I have to do it right at market open for like maybe a 1 to 3 month or like a 3-month put option, but and then sell it as soon as it goes down. That's just me, but I might not play it so aggressively because of the massive volatility that happened. But the real way to know when to really short something is when we get like a double top or head and shoulders or triple top or big consolidation sideways, and then it doesn't go up and then you could pull back. But the reversion to the mean for both Bollinger Bands and linear regression is 139, 140 for XOK. So at some point in the future, it's going to return down there statistically, but it could take a long time. What will make it not go down there is if earnings are incredible. So that's the caveat there. Let's look at XLF. Had a nice rally. XLF too, I'm just going to point this out, is that I have a Fibonacci up here. I went from, this is from maybe a month ago, the tariff low to the all-time high. And where do we crash right into? It's incredible how this works sometimes. The 618 Fibonacci, incredible. And then once we had the support level, then once we had this trend line breakout, that's when we had that short squeeze go green. Now, same thing. If we pierce the 200 EMA and it's shooting star, somebody took their profit. Algorithm went straight from low to high, and they're out. I want to enter in somewhere in the middle of there, maybe 50 for the next trade, $50. Support level. The immediate support level is 51.74. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick segue here. Somebody asked me last week or 2 weeks ago for UNH, United Health, and Boeing, although it's very late charts. I did respond to that person. Thank you for subscribing. I personally recommend AI for research because it's faster and more comprehensive than me. My specialty, and this is not financial advice, my specialty is technical analysis, price and volume charts. So my scope is limited in this YouTube video because I'm not always presenting the full research that I do personally, which is fundamentals, it's earnings, it's news catalysts, a little bit of social media goes into that. So I'm just going to focus only on price chart, and this is not financial advice. This is a chart exercise for myself personally. So UNH, very volatile stock. If I look at a long term, I'm on a weekly chart right now. This is how I start my analysis. There was the bad event that happened with UNH from a business perspective, crashed. Somewhere here, I remember hearing that Warren Buffett bought a lot of UNH stock. I think it was somewhere, maybe it was down here in August 25 last year. But right now, it looks like because it just rallied, a lot of stocks rallied for 3 weeks, but it made a pivot point. So now it's turning to large symmetrical triangle here on the weekly chart. UNH has earnings coming out on April 21, which is 2 days from now. That's Tuesday morning. So that'll determine if we're going to go up. The ATRs on a weekly is about $24. So it could go an additional 7 to 10% if it's good earnings. If it's bad earnings, it could drop 7 to 10% to about 293. So those are the two levels. But it's interesting to see here that from an educational perspective, on a weekly chart, a bullish piercing candle could be entry spots for future stocks, not just UNH, or a low stochastic and a low RSI, and then a MACD histogram combo. For me personally, I play tech stocks and I play crypto. Those are my plays for trading, and their crypto is green. It's great, right? Let's move on to Boeing. So Boeing also had its own problems past couple of years, and then the price was affected by oil, which did go down, the Boeing price, but now we can see there is a level of support that it bounced off. I'm on a weekly chart now, looking at an investment standpoint, mindset, start on the weekly first. So we had this almost, it's a higher low on a weekly chart above 191. And from a technical perspective, bring up my indicators. Technical perspective, it was low stochastic on a weekly, double bottom on RSI, momentum building. We have earnings for Boeing coming up on Wednesday, April 22 in the morning. ATR is $15, $16. That could be a move plus or minus 7% from the current price. And personally, I like to wait till after earnings. So my style is, if I find a company, let's just say like Boeing, that I think they're going to turn around, or UNH, or even Microsoft, or it was Bitcoin, a couple weeks ago, is I try to buy as low as possible, but I don't like buying these red flash dips. I need to see at least the reversal. So I'm circling the reversal where there's a bullish candle reversal, piercing, 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 piercing candle. And ironically enough, those will be low stochastic weekly plays or low RSI plays or like a news breakout or earnings play, post after earnings play. So for me personally, this is just me though. People could do whatever they want with their own accounts and they're responsible. This is not financial advice. For me, I like just buying lower priced technical setups or lower priced stocks. Basically every stock went crazy, went green. Even NVDA went 22%. It's incredible, right? So a certain spot is going to stop, and it could be next month. But I need to see some like shooting star. Again, the biggest indicator that it's going down for a bear scenario is a double top, triple top, is a head and shoulders, is a Bollinger Band poke out right there. That's what I'm from experience. Well, a low Bollinger Band to high Bollinger Band is the bullish green play, right? So just being patient for that. And sometimes it takes half a year for that to happen. So the volatility we just had in the past month happens like once a year or twice a year. Incredible to anybody who caught that. I was playing crypto, caught all of it. Sometimes I don't like really busy trades like oil or gold because everybody, billions of dollars is targeting that. So I look for just something else that might move around a little bit better. Okay, let's go to crypto. I'll do this a little bit shorter. I'll do total Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then rapid fire some altcoins, and then that'll be the end of the video. Thank you for watching and subscribing. I appreciate all my subscribers, very much so, who have supported, watched, viewed, commented over the years. Hope you're having a nice month. Okay, total crypto market cap. We're still consolidating in the price, sideways. The good news versus the bad news. The good news is we stopped going down for now in terms of a deep downtrend, like nonstop downtrend for now. Longer term, I need to make sure this is not going to be a fake out dead cat bounce. It could very much happen. That's why last week I kept saying, watch out for this wedge. We played this upside down in his shoulders to the top of the resistance. That's fine. Iran war news, pull back. We're still alive here in this uptrend. High, low, high, low, high, low. If I stay above 2.42 trillion, we can make another higher high. Try to see if we can at least get to 2.75 trillion in the next month. That's a daily chart that we're on right now. So we went from low stochastic to high stochastic. The algorithm bots, that's what they're programmed to do. Algorithm bots are programmed to buy right here when it's super low and there's maximum fear. And then it's programmed to sell when the RSI goes up here somewhere in 2.8. That's why I'm still anticipating that robots are waiting to, algorithms are waiting to sell up here. Let's go to Bitcoin, everybody's favorite crypto. We love Bitcoin. So I'm on Bitcoin Bitfinex, very similar. We're still in the death cross, still at risk of sell-off. Low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. We're making the lower high right now. So it's kind of like a Jenga game right now, board game, in terms of we're stacking cryptos. And then at some point there might, I hope it doesn't happen, but it could happen. We get one more flash dump down to like 40, 30, 25K. And that's my estimated bottom, because we need to get, for a long-term potential scenario, when Bitcoin goes negative 80% off, 25,000, 25K Bitcoin, I am all in right there. I'm going to all in Bitcoin when it's 80 to 90% off. Any top 10 coin, I would buy that. Right now, however, I'm just holding. It's a holding game, meaning don't panic. If it goes red, if I'm an investor, don't panic, because the algorithms are programmed to buy that low momentum and sell at high momentum. That's exactly what happened. There's one swing trade. I need to hold above 72,000 You need to hold Bitcoin above $70,000. If we go below there, then I know we have a problem. The big number is 65 to 60,000. If we break below those two, we have a big problem in crypto. Then everyone's gains will be erased for the past 3 months, basically. So I'm still waiting for that weekly double bottom play. We could pull back all the way down to 72.75. Play the back test of that. I really hope it doesn't all the way pull back to 66,000 because then it's not a double bottom anymore. But it's up to the whales. It's not really up to me. The momentum is building. It's large. So I'm anticipating a small pullback. This is correlated with the stock market. Small pullback. We see the 4-hour is in the uptrend, golden cross, but it has failed before. So I need to see, will the 50 EMA, 100, 200 EMA on this 4-hour chart, will it hold? High, low, high, low, high, low. Because it's pulled back. I need to see buyers coming in. Stochastic. Asia, Europe session, they're going to buy that or no? That's what we're watching for. Let's go Ethereum, USD. I like this triangle from last time. So again, support. Remember I was saying suspicious upside down head and shoulders? Came true. Ethereum went 1.2% the target, or 1.2x the target. And now, why did it pull back? Because it poked out of that upper Bollinger Band. Robots programmed to sell there, pulled back here, right down to 20 EMA. We need to hold above 2,200, this 50 EMA. This is still green light, not green light, I should say yellow light for me in terms of caution here in America. Yellow, green, red, or green, yellow, red. So this would be a green light down here to buy. Yellow when it's in the middle, and then red, don't buy when it's high in terms of trying to actually make profit in the money in the market with the money. So Ethereum USD, I want to buy low. I don't want to buy up here high. So yellow meaning I could try to scalp that, could try to trade that. I would like it to be a little bit lower. Stochastic come down a little bit. So we're just holding very similar 4-hour. Needs to stay above 2,200 or else we're in trouble. XRP Solana, all nice, except XRP did pull back a little bit worse. Went from low to high support. Let's go to Solana. Solana, just not so popular right now. I believe that meme coin trading and rug pulls is not that popular in the past 1 or 2 years. People have switched over to, you guessed it, prediction markets. So Kalshi, Poly Market. I've tried Kalshi. It's not for me. I personally do not recommend Kalshi because unless you have like AI algorithm auto trading developer skills, you're gonna get beat by the bots probably. Because my edge, I need to remember as a trader, what's my edge? It's the charts. So day trading on Kalshi is not gonna work. And especially for me, because the pattern day trader rule has been removed on margin, I'm about to just go back to stock trading for that. But I need to wait for my exchange to actually implement the rule, and then I get unlimited margin trading. But I want to caution people about that because that's the fastest way to blow up somebody's account. It's not about the frequency of trading. It's about the win rate percentage and risk management, maximum dollar loss. For day trading, swing trading as well. So Solana USD, as long as we hold that support above $78, $77, we should be okay. This is looking like some kind, I'm going to call it a lazy double bottom on a weekly. It's not real yet. I think people just gave up on the Solana, but I still have hope. Because if that holds above $80, we could rally to 9,200 easily. Still waiting for that. Let's go to Cardano. Cardano not feeling the love from the market, but a lot of altcoins in the death cross, people just gave up, but there's a large squeeze happening low RSI. I like Cardano. There could be a 50% move in the future. That's incredible. But it's going to take maybe 6 months, maybe a year. So if Bitcoin and altcoins do bottom out, I'm very interested in Solana because, in Cardano, because usually 25 cents has been like my golden spot. It could crash lower, but 3 years ago, I remember I bought right here at 25 cents. In 23, I bought here at 25 cents. In 24, I bought at 33 cents. And am I going to do it again? Am I going to buy at 25 cents? It could be the next play. Watching out for that. All right, let's rapid fire and close out today's video. Zcash had an incredible move and then gave half of it back. So Zcash, when we may have upside down head and shoulders, it's not completely over because it's golden cross now. It's playing that back to the neckline. And so we could bounce here. I'm watching this very closely. If it holds above 285 and doesn't keep crashing, it might actually reverse and we might actually get a high-low revival on Zcash, even though the project's apparently canceled, reportedly. Not canceled, but a lot of those developers quit. Dash. That's why crypto supports it to have a trailing stop loss or OCO targets, because it gave up half of its gains. Zen, actually holding. It kind of looks like it's about to squeeze up to about 667, but it could be correlated with Zcash if it's not going to do that. Monero, very suspicious chart because why? Higher high, higher low. Can it make a higher high if somebody's just patient there? But it's not the best spot to enter. It's like a middle yellow spot. Let's keep going here. Tron. Love Tron. Why? Because when Tron has a large double bottom, somebody just algorithmically plays that. It's almost like it's correlated with the stock market. That was that's a 20% play. Dogecoin not feeling the love from the market because it is death crossed. Massive downtrend. But why do I like it? It's at that area of support of 9 cents where I played my last upside down head and shoulders in 24 when we had that massive 300% Dogecoin. So just need to wait for that to see. And again, you can hear it in my voice and my emotions that because the stock market is green, people are getting excited. So I have to check myself and even be careful, because if we crash for 2 weeks, crypto may not go up unless the buyers come in to save the market. So that's basically the story of right now. It's Bitcoin. Can Bitcoin hold? Even if we have a pullback, this is the last thing I'll say. Even if we have a pullback to crypto for Bitcoin, pull back to 70,000 Bitcoin, pull back to 65,000 Bitcoin, will people not get scared? Will traders actually buy that green long? Are we going to save the market or not? Because if we keep crashing, it'll be game over for Bitcoin in the near term. That's crypto trading for us. All right. Thank you for watching. Hope you like this video. If you like this video or learn something from this video, go ahead and click the like button, click the subscribe button, leave a nice comment. I try to check my comments. It's very infrequent, but sometimes if someone has a request, I'll try to do it. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice month and week, and I'll see you in the next video.